All right, so yeah, I just got out of the bathtub, as Bryce was saying. You can't really tell because I don't have any hair to show that it's wet.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Do you have hair on
Sorry
your
about
face?
that.
Very
I do
unfortunate.
have hair on my face.
But a wet beard doesn't look wet.
Oh yeah, it's been a complete fiasco here on the Retro Ranger side with Josh's constant issues.
Sorry.
It's really becoming a problem. So
as I was telling them off camera, just as a beta tester, I installed a new version of Windows 11, which came out this past week, just to make sure everything was working properly.
That actually came out, officially?
Yeah, it's officially
released.
Wait,
then how long has you guys been on Windows 10?
Windows 10 came out like maybe 5 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Give or take.
Okay. All right.
Are you still running like Windows 95?
Me? No, I
He's
use
on Windows
Apple,
7.
Sir. I use Apple, sir. We get updates. We get new operating systems every year.
I know you're just getting ready to explain, but like at work, some of the computers still have Windows 7 on it, and it really pisses me off.
No, that's how I am at my job, fucking Windows 7. I'm like, what is this garbage?
What's the Apple that you're using? A 2E? Like, can we even run like Oregon Trail on that thing?
Yes, it can. The more modern version, my laptop is what, 2015? I need a new one though.
Yeah, okay. I was about to say that's actually pretty old.
You should talk to Shay. Shay actually just got a new Apple laptop.
Hey, can I borrow your laptop, sir?
He might be getting rid of it. So might be a good person to talk to. However, that is we are not running a QVC show here. We are running a show about Power Rangers.
Oh yes.
Time Force. I was about to say Lightspeed Rescue because of the crossover episode from today. But we are talking about episodes 32, 33, and 34. And they were correct in the title this time. So
yeah.
Hopefully everyone actually watched the right episodes.
Yeah, I did this week because apparently last week I didn't.
Before we jump into these episodes, though, do we have any Power Rangers news? Like what's new in the Power Rangers world?
More so rumors. On the Ranger wrap up earlier today, they were talking about the possibility of Zyuohger being adapted for the 30th season because new information has come in that apparently Hasbro retains the rights to every Super Sentai season up to Ryu Soldier, and that includes seasons that they skipped and seasons before Zyuranger. And Zyuohger would be one of them, and so there's rumors going around that maybe they could adapt Zyuohger after Dino Fury.
So they basically just sitting on money and not using it, huh?
I guess so, yeah. I mean, look, I'm okay with that. It seems clear with some things I know behind the scenes that they're not really sure what the hell they want to do right now. And if they have another Sentai season that they still can adapt just to kind of hold them over until they figure out what they want to do, I think that's cool. The fans still want to see a lot of these Sentai adaptations. It would mean that we would finally get an Orange Ranger. So I'm down. Nothing's confirmed yet. This is all just rumors and speculation, like I said. So don't take this as news. But that's just kind of the rumor going around.
Interesting. So this is, I know we've kind of covered this before, but something I recently saw on Twitter was people were having a conversation about who the best for interpretation of Superman was, and some people were pointing to Henry Cavill. I like Henry Cavill as Superman. I have nothing against him. I do think he is a really good version of the character, even though I may not have enjoyed one of the movies that he was in. But
actually two.
The reason
two.
2.5.
Well, yeah.
One
and a half.
They redeemed Justice League with Zack Snyder's version.
But a lot of people were pointing to just saying, well, I really liked him in this suit, so this is my version of Superman. I'm like, why does the suit matter so much? Like, shouldn't him being a good character be more important than the costume being
Yeah.
right? And that kind of translates over to Power Rangers too. Like I understand people wanting like accurate suit replication, but if the suit looks good and the actors are good and the stories are good,
Yeah.
I don't know that it really matters.
I think more so with the Sentai adaptations. I've kind of been thinking about this because you've brought up good arguments about why do we even need Sentai seasons? Just watch the Super Sentai.
Yeah.
And I think I think my only, because otherwise I completely agree with you, and I still do agree with you. But I think I guess one good argument I've come up with is that sort of the Japanese nature of the Super Sentai seasons have kind of become a part of the show. Like,
Right.
the goofy wackiness. And I think a lot of people are afraid if you just fully Americanize that, you're going to kind of lose some of that kind of stuff.
I mean, that's not necessarily true when you have seasons that were mostly shot with American footage, like RPM,
Yeah. Look, it's clear though that RPM is nothing like Go Onger, So I mean, I think and there are some people who don't like RPM. I don't know how or why, but there are some people who don't like RPM, and I would say that's pretty much a almost fully American season, except for the Zord footage, because otherwise that like Go Onger and RPM are completely different shows. But I do find it. I do think that a part of that will go away if you just go fully Americanized. I also see, but there's also the flip side of the coin where people get frustrated whenever they just basically full on translate a season. Samurai.
It's one of those things where you just can't win. People are gonna complain one way or another. It's
because all of like Time Force is widely regarded as one of the best seasons of all time. Basically a translation of Time Ranger. Samurai did the exact same thing and people hate it. I don't really understand why. I don't really hate.
Not exactly that. I mean, Samurai and Wild Force are almost basically verbatim, even down to like certain lines in the episodes.
Yeah.
But Time Force
Samurai,
is more of a
they had to credit the original Japanese writer. Because
because of how close it was.
Every episode.
So sorry, I just want to jump into the chat here really quick. Bryce is lying about me in the chat from the beginning. Ice Cream Man 616 is here. Jared Hodges, Psycho Orange, Edward Sanchez Productions, Thomas Franco, Craig Anderson, and Saiyan 4414. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you for being active in the chat. We appreciate the conversation. Saiyan 4414.
Lying about what? I'm
confused. Everything. Like, I don't believe anything that comes out of your mouth.
What do you mean?
Saying
is that not what happened? I thought that's what you said. Like in our
little says that not everyone can see to read subs, and that's there was a couple of people on Twitter this past week talking about subs versus dubs, and that was one of the things that came up was that for subtitles, like people like the gatekeepers are like, oh well, you're not really watching it if you're watching the dub. Not everyone can actually see well enough to read the subtitles and have to watch the dubs.
I've never heard that.
I haven't.
So hold on, if you can, no, this is a legitimate question. I'm just asking. Like, if you can see the show, then how come you can't see the subtitles?
What if you can't see the show?
Well,
that's how.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you're blind,
if somebody was blind watching it,
if you're legally blind, or your vision is bad enough that sitting there watching TV, you just can't make out the print on the subtitles.
But if you're blind, then what would it matter to you if they adapt the Sentai or not? If you're just hearing.
Well, that's part of that. I'm just talking subs versus dubs, not necessarily Sentai.
Just
a subtitle, watching something with subtitles versus watching something with that's been translated and dubbed. And that's a really valid point, because if you can't read the text because you can't see it, then you have no choice but to watch dubs. So instead of being angry at people for watching dubs, be angry that the dubs maybe aren't as good quality as they could be.
Yeah.
It's a different argument.
Well,
But
it's
anyway,
easier. It is easier to watch the dub. At least
absolutely.
for me.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
easier
you don't
to
have
watch.
to think about.
I don't understand why people have to be you have to be try hard to watch anime. Like it's such a weird.
Yeah, see, for me that comes down to, if you're going to demand that people watch the subs instead of watching the versions that are dubbed, then I'm going to demand that you learn the native language that the show is in instead. Like
watch
should,
the raw.
Yeah, watch it in
Yeah.
the native language. Like watching
See,
subs is cheating.
Like with me, I'll watch anime dubbed. Like, it doesn't bother me. But if I'm watching something live action, I have to watch it with subtitles, because dubs, they always dub real people like cartoon characters, and it's weird. And it makes their acting look bad.
Yeah, it depends for me. Like I've seen like the I think the only dubbed movie that I was able to watch because it was done well was that the Roberto Benigni Pinocchio that came out like 15 years ago or something, because they got legit actors and voice actors to do the dubs. So it was like people that you recognize, like the voice of Pinocchio was like Breckenmeyer or something. So it was real people that were able to act. Not that voice actors that do dubs aren't able to act, but sometimes they cheap out on it and it just doesn't.
Yeah, and they make the Japanese actor look like a bad actor.
Yeah. So there's that. It's but anyway, that's a whole other discussion. Let's jump into the Power Rangers stuff. Sane is sorry, but before we jump in, he's legally blind and he only understands English, so that is exactly why he watches the dubs.
Gotcha.
So that's a perfect example of that right there. The first episode that we're discussing today is Beware the Night.
See, now we're here at the episode I have the most issue with, and
I don't blame you, man.
Angry.
Okay,
I'm kind of mad that
I don't blame
is
you.
not here to take the full force of my.
Yeah,
bullshit.
I know. Like, I do wonder how Blackwing would defend this episode, because this episode is all kinds of messy.
Okay, so here's Corey. Okay. Sorry.
Yes,
before you actually let's trade roles a little bit. You're gonna be me, and you're gonna complain about everything, regardless of whether it makes sense or not.
That's my plan.
So that's me. So, but Bryce is going to explain the episode. He's gonna walk us through it, and you're going to interrupt him like I would normally do.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Got it.
Listen, I've got my own problems with this too, so I'm probably going to
interrupt yourself
talking about this. Yeah,
Right. Okay. Before we get started, just to set a premise, because like you said before, Josh, like Time Force, you had to you thought that they were traveling back and forth through time, through different time periods.
Yeah. So what's funny about that too is everyone is over at my place again this week. Because we're building up a studio in one of the spare bedrooms over at my place. And Caitlin came over. Who is on the Star Trek show with me. She doesn't watch Power Rangers. She doesn't know anything at all. But she was here while I was watching the episodes for today. And she watched the intro, and she's like, from the introduction to the show, it looks like they should be traveling in time. Like the opening of the show shows them in different time periods, shows them as samurai.
Yeah, and you got the clock, and it goes.
Got the clock. Yeah, it makes it look like the episodes are based around them time traveling, and that's not what it is. So I understand that. So to me, that's kind of confusing.
They did it in Hyperforce though, so that's okay.
Yeah, like this episode would make sense if they were traveling through time, but because of the fact that it takes place in present day. And all of a sudden, this random ass night comes.
Well, I don't know. A lot of this still wouldn't make any sense if it took place in the past. I guess we'll go ahead and get into it. So, we start off. There's these knights. They fight. There's a black knight who's evil and the white knight who's good, I guess. The black knight steals this box from the white knight, and the white knight dies. And then meanwhile, at the clock tower, the Rangers order pizza because they're hungry, and then Trip goes to get the pizza and is attacked by this knight, and the pizza gets smashed. by the horse or whatever that the knight was riding on. He comes back, he goes, "Hey guys, I was attacked by this knight. It was crazy." And he smashed the pizza. And the Rangers are like,
say you dropped a piece of Trip.
Like Trip, you're an idiot. Like, what the hell are you talking about? It's like, okay, let's rewind here for a second. We live in a world where these guys have traveled back in time from 1,000 years ago. They're fighting mystical mutants that can grow to the size of the World Trade Center, right? And you're telling me that you cannot fathom to believe that there was a knight who came and attacked Trip and ran over the pizza. You're telling me that is just too ridiculous. That cannot happen. Like that is just
teenage.
Like that really pulled the crap out of me.
2001.
Like that really pissed me off because it really just made the other Rangers seem like complete assholes because they literally are like, no, the Trip, that's impossible. You just dropped the pizza. It's like, first of all, if you look at that pizza box, like that's not dropping the pizza, right? Like something ran over that pizza.
I mean, if he slipped and fell chest down on it,
I guess, but you would have to
Like,
really bang up that pizza for it to look like that, you know. So I don't know.
Sorry, I lied. I'm gonna interrupt you too. We at the end of that episode, when he brings the other pizzas in, those pieces are like all shuffled. It was just a bunch of pieces of pizza that are just kind of like thrown into the box.
Yeah.
How would that happen? When
he ate some on the way there.
Yeah, but you would have to pull each piece apart.
But he was already eating. He already took some out, and so he was eating on the way home, and then he tripped off the curb.
It would have to it would have to be cold, and you have had to rip pull them apart for them to look the way they did. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, but I guess that's another problem. But yeah. So then the Rangers go out. And they're like, well, I guess we gotta get something else to eat because Trip's an idiot and dropped the pizza. and so naturally they go to the movie theater, for their nice full meal, I guess. And then no, like shocker, they get attacked by the knight, and then all of a sudden this becomes a West focused episode. We start with all this stuff with Trip. And then all of a sudden, like Wes goes, I have to get this guy. It's just like, wouldn't it make more sense for Trip to want to attack the knight because the knight attacked him, and then the Rangers were going off on Trip for making up this knight story, and then all of a sudden Wes is like, guys, I got this. Like
Wes should have been the one to get the pizza and drop it.
Yeah. I totally agree. Like that made no sense. Like, I understand that it had to be a West focused episode for the Battleizer, but why have Trip go get the pizza at the start?
Low key, if he was just mad, like, you keep messing with my pizza, this is revenge. Like, if that was the thing.
Yeah. Also, hold on, let me rewind back to the pizza real quick because this part really ticked me off. Like the knight cut off half of Trip's hat. Trip shows the hat to them and says, hey, he cut my hat in half.
Look at my hat.
And then they're like, nah. Like, what? Like how would he drop the pizza and then his hat got cut in half? Like just from dropping the pizza. That makes no sense. Like the Rangers were being so unnecessarily rude to Trip. Like, it was just so weird. Like, I don't know why they did that. And then, so, the Rangers kind of get attacked by, the knight. I guess it's not a monster. And so Wes gets on his, toy sales cycle and follows the knight.
Stratocycle.
Yeah, and then, the knight goes into the cave, and then Wes goes, oh no, he vanished. But he saw him go into the cave, and then whenever they go back to find him again, he has to follow the tracks back to the cave of which he saw him go into. Like it's just like you watched him go into the cave, and then Wes was like, "I'm gonna stay here and watch." And then he saw him go out of the cave, right? So he watched him. Well, I guess no, he was sleeping at that point. But the knight goes back out of the cave, and then he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna follow the tracks back to see where this came from." It's like. He came from the cave that you saw him go into. Like it's just like they made it look like Wes who's being such big brain, but it's just like he saw him go into the cave, but it's just like, oh, he vanished. We gotta go. It's like I can't find him. It's just like, what the hell? Like, okay. But sorry, I feel like I'm stealing Corey's thunder.
I mean, I'm okay with it. Yeah. But I mean, those caves, those are the famous caves that everyone in Hollywood uses.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I know that.
I forget what they're called. I've been there last year. I went there last year.
But so Wes goes into the cave and fights this dragon, mostly unmorphed.
Why? Who knows?
Which is ridiculous.
And then he morphs at the end.
Yeah, just for the final blow, and then the White Knight kind of shows up because he opens the box and then gives him this orb, which will activate his battleizer. And so Wes goes back. Jen got hurt, and got tossed.
Okay. So
yeah, go ahead.
Who the F is this Black Knight? Where he's beating up the Power Rangers?
We don't know. Like we never know who he is.
Is he a monster? Is he a mutant under the? Because I mean, first of all, like, where are these knights from? Because their accents are absolutely fucked up. Like one sounds Scottish and the other one is evil American. So it's just like where from whatever European country are these people from? And then if they're just regular people as knights, how are they strong enough to challenge the Power Rangers? The Black Knight, anyway.
I mean, so
well, I mean, they had magic. We know they had magic.
Yeah. So Wes gets into his Knight Battleizer armor, which looks absolutely ridiculous. By the way,
it's ugly. When I seen this back in the day, I was hyped. I was like, "What is it? What is it? What is it? What is it?"
Yeah.
And then he morphed, and my heart sank a little bit. I was like, "What is this?"
Yeah. Right. It looks so stupid. Shit? Like it makes Eric's rollerblades look cool. So
rollerblades were badass in 2001, man. They still cool now. Okay.
But oh my god. But
this is the ugliest battleizer.
And
ever.
So basically Wes defeats him, and then that's kind of it. And then Trip comes back with pizza that he actually dropped this time. And then Josh,
pizza guys.
Yeah, and then Josh's argument with how the pizza was situated comes into play, and that's pretty much it.
All right.
So I thought it was great.
It was an awesome episode.
Yeah, a really great episode, everybody.
So what the thing is we seen the battle fire and so that's what assuming that's what Alex had to bring Wes's dad back to life. But we don't know that because they don't say anything about it.
Well, that seems like something important that we should have known.
Yeah, they don't bring it up. It's just this weird assumption I always have. I'm like, was that the battle fire? You know? But they don't. That's it.
Oh, that the battle fire armor is what brought.
No, because Alex had that orb, right?
Yeah.
I always assumed that was like the battle fire 1,000 years in the future, and it just kind of died. It has like residual energy, and that's how
maybe
Alex brought his dad back to life.
Right.
So that was just always my theory. Like, what was that?
Yeah. Yeah, that would be interesting. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
like this.
What do we think about this episode, everybody?
2. Like
2 out of 5. Oh my god, yeah, that's a little high. I think.
So okay, the fight sequences were fine. Like I thought like if all you cared about was the action.
I did like the camera work. The camera work in this episode was oddly, like really, really good for some reason.
The action sequences here were good, and I know some people only care about the action sequences.
Yeah.
So those are those are fine. But the actual storyline and some of the logic in the episode was not great. And it's a little disappointing, I think, because this is the first episode in a long time where I've had that kind of complaint about it. Like most of the previous episodes, while there's like some weird things here and there, overall I felt like they've all been fairly well put together, even if some of the stuff doesn't 100% make sense. But no, I don't think anything in this episode made sense.
Yeah.
It was just weird.
Yeah, I agree. I still gave it like a 1.5.
I'm just thinking about the guy who designed this armor. Like low key, it may have been Tsuyoshi Naka. He's that guy who makes that stuff. But like Eric, you look at Eric's armor and it suits him because it's from the V-Rex and it looks like it suits his Ranger. But Homeboy West has some ancient knight armor. Like it could have still been a knight, but it could have been like a future knight.
Which is and the really weird thing about this is that this was on purpose because this wasn't something from the Sentai. This is an American exclusive suit.
Yeah.
And they did this on purpose to have him have this weird knight.
Sorry, 1 second. I want to interrupt here. Just for a moment. Say in 4414 says that if Wes had gone to get the pizza, Trip could have read his mind instead. Just to see, like, he would have known what had actually happened, and that would have fixed that plot point.
Yeah.
But also, in addition to that,
great.
Thomas Franco, you don't need to give someone shit for adding an extra S to the end of a name. Like it's a typo. You know, like
you spelled it wrong, bro. Fix it now.
It's like Twitter. You can't go back and edit a message once you've sent it here. So, you know.
Oh damn! I lost my train of thought. Where'd it go?
Sorry.
I lost it. Thomas Franco, you lost my comment. Everything is gone now. Hold on. You guys.
You're getting old, man.
Yeah.
Look at these gray hairs. You can't see them on camera. Can you see them?
You can't see the ones in my beard now because I use coloring. You know, I color.
You actually, please tell me that's true.
That's absolutely true.
That sounds like something I would make up and put in the chat. Like that. That is hilarious. Oh man. I mean, looking great, man.
Oh,
you know.
Yeah.
I mean, well, at least you can see my beard. Yours just looks like you got some dirt in the bottom of your face there.
No, hey, listen.
How
camera.
Wait, how long have you been trying to grow that?
Hasn't sent me my new camera yet. The camera quality is here. If I got up real close, like ooh, you could see it.
Yeah.
See it?
That's 4 months of growth there. 5 months.
That is not. No, that's like 1 month. No. You've seen me with a full beard. Hold on. You've seen me with a full beard before.
Yeah, because you look like Adam Sessler.
No, but you know I can grow one. Yes.
Listen, if I'm giving you shit for something, none of it has to be true.
Hey, I don't think we should just be making lies about each other.
It's okay when we do it to each other's face.
Yeah, right.
It's when you do it and the other person isn't there to defend themselves that it becomes an issue.
What do you mean? What's going on? What are you? I'm not really sure what you're referring to with this. You know. Anyway. So,
you ready to move on to the next episode?
I had something to bring up real quick, but you guys were,
Sorry. Okay, all right. Well, sorry, Corey.
We thought you lost your train of thought.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Then I found it, and then.
Okay, well then say it.
Okay. All right. So the Battleizer's finishing move kind of looks like the Lightspeed Megazord finishing move, and I thought it was a homage to the episode that's coming up, but that's just what they decided to do with that,
Huh. That's
yeah. That's all.
If
anyone noticed that,
what are you gonna do? But yeah. Let's talk about like the only somewhat decent episode in this trilogy of episodes that we're watching. The Time Force
you know what?
Rescue crossover.
I skipped through this episode because I watched like the first 5 minutes, and then I seen Viper. I was like, nah, I can't do it.
Really?
And then I skipped through
the way you creep on Deborah Estelle Phillips, I thought you would be here for the Viper stuff.
Oh my god.
Viper, you know what? She's cute, but she's not much of an actress. I mean,
oh, harsh.
I'm sorry.
I mean, all right. Like, but for real though, Josh. I mean, like, there's clearly like a discrepancy. Like if you listen to Ransik's dialogue and then Viper's dialogue, I mean, it's like she's just reading it off the script. Like, I mean,
listen,
you will never defeat me, Power Ranger.
So here,
it's like Robot-y.
Here's the thing with that. Like, I completely understand that, and for a long time, I rode that train where I was like, these people can't act. And for some of them, yeah, that's true. Some of them are pretty good. But have you ever seen like a Luc Besson movie, like The Fifth Element or Valerian, or like anything in between there? He has characters in his films that just sound wooden. Like everything they say sounds like they're reading it off the page. But then you've got the main characters and the lead actors.
Oh yeah, like the one girl from The Fifth Element, the pink. Yeah.
Well, no, like she like that's Mila Jovovich. Like she sounds like she's emoting stuff. But like if you listen to like the people who are on the cruise ship, like like the regular workers or the people who are at the space station where they go and they take off to, like they have a very stilted speech pattern.
Yeah.
And that seems like that's just how they've been directed to talk, because that's something in Luc Besson's films. This is something that,
I don't know. I think even with her character, I think her character felt kind of wooden. I think I do agree with you though. I do think that most of that with the Fifth Element at least was the direction. Because even Mila Jovovich, I think she felt kind of, but I think that's more also just the character itself. But my problem with that is because I was thinking about that too, whenever I was watching this episode. But then you hear Ransik's dialogue, and then you hear Viper's dialogue, and that's clear, and then it makes it clear that it's not a direction issue because Ransik sounds fine,
right. Yeah,
but
I don't know. It's just weird to me, and if you watch like any of the shows on like Nickelodeon, like any of the kids shows that are there, like it's clear, it's clear that everyone is like overacting, or because that's the style of the show. And like these episodes, specifically these episodes, watching them, I was like, yeah, these are definitely directed at kids who are like in that like 10-year-old age range.
Right. So, apparently, according to Donnie Pearson, Catherine Sutherland voiced Dana while she was morphed.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I
didn't pick that out.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna do some research on that. That's pretty interesting.
So what?
She did her kiosk.
Yeah, it says it right here.
What did you guys think of this episode? Like, did the team up make sense to you guys?
No.
I mean, it's what happened. Like I said,
it should have been.
Did I mention this off air? I'm not sure, but I watched the Sentai version when it was new.
Yeah.
And I haven't watched it since then, so I don't necessarily remember enough of it to compare it. But there was another monster. There was a mutant monster, and then there was a magic monster, and they merged in to make the villain in this crossover. So that's the monster they used. Yeah, but they like I said, they take the soul out of everything, and they just like here's some toys.
It's just so weird because I mean it's only a normal 20-minute episode, so you gotta go, and there's a lot of stuff to do, right? Because we gotta have Vipra and the heist, and they gotta meet she's gotta meet Ransik, and then Carter shows up, and then they gotta get the Lightspeed Rangers in there, and then Ryan just shows up out of nowhere, like it's a call except for Ryan. It's like, oh, I guess Ryan, they didn't want to shoot footage with Ryan in this episode because he was an American exclusive. But then he shows up anyway, and so it's just like, okay, with Eric of all people. So how did they meet? And it was weird. I thought, and also whenever they them defeating the monster was so anticlimactic and just boom, because they all get in their battle armor. They all get into their battle armor. Boom, done. He just disappears.
It was a pew.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was just a pew. It wasn't even like a bombastic explosion. And what's funny, you watch the Disney seasons, they do that shit a lot. It's just a pew.
Yeah. Once again, sorry, Thomas, you don't need to get on people for spelling errors. And if you look 1, 2, 3, 4 comments up from yours, you'll see that he corrected himself already anyway. So, chill. But there's another interesting voice that's in this episode. Ron, I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
Ron Reisterman?
Rogi?
No, the Captain Mitchell guy.
Captain Mitchell. Oh. He voiced Quarganon.
Cool.
I'm assuming that's the villain.
Villain, yeah, one of the villains, yeah. But here's one of my issues. Like they brought in Miss Fairweather, and made it to show her and Joel together, but she really didn't have any, and she didn't do anything.
And so they were on their honeymoon, so I guess they got married at some point as well.
Well, they were about to go on their honeymoon.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
They must have just got married a whole year. They dated for a year and just got married.
Dude, people date for like a week and then get married.
We don't know how much time passed between the 2 seasons.
It has to be a year. It has to be a little 6 months to a year.
Why does it have to be?
Because Lightspeed Rescue took place in 2000. This is 2001.
That's a good point.
Yes, sir.
Damn it! Logic strikes again.
The Power Ranger Time Force happens in the span of a year.
That's
yes, sir.
I don't know what else to say. This episode, it was fine. There just wasn't any. I just didn't see anything. That
there's nothing to talk about.
Yeah. Sorry, Thomas. We've been over this a couple of times. I'm gonna put you in a timeout.
I literally just put him in timeout as soon as you did that, and I was just like, wait a minute, what just happened? So, we double timed out.
Yeah, we appreciate you being here and watching, but chill.
Yeah, I mean, listen. I mean, if we give you a warning and you keep going, we're going to put you in timeout. And honestly, if you keep doing it again, because this is not the first stream that we formed you about stuff that you've said, we will have to ban you at some point. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, just be a normal person. That's all we're asking. But yeah, so back to this episode. How did you guys feel about it at the end when the Time Force crew gave all the Lightspeed guys the Time Force outfits, and
that was weird.
And they were like, "Oh, yeah, we got stuff for you too." And then they took off their jackets again.
Yeah, I thought the Lightspeed part was funny. The Time Force, them giving them their jackets doesn't make any sense because I'm sure they've got to wear them again at some point,
right?
Before the show's over. So,
well, they could just have Alex send more from the future,
I guess, or just like, hey guys, we need those back.
He has a working time machine.
Yeah, I mean,
that was my only problem. I was like, hey, you gave them your uniforms, but then they have them again. So did they get new ones at some point? I don't
know.
I know Lightspeed's still operational, so I know they could just go back to base. Hey, I need another jacket, bro. But I mean, yeah. Okay, what's next?
Sorry, we're looking at building out an actual studio space and getting a bunch of text messages about it. Where were we? The end of this episode. Overall thoughts. like, would you like as far as team ups go that you guys have seen? Where would you put this one?
It wasn't great.
Not even on the roster. Not even on it.
I don't think it's the worst.
I don't even think about this one. I forget about this one all the time. Like, oh yeah, that did happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely very forgettable. But I think, and I even think I thought it was a different episode. Like, I thought I started to remember this episode, and then I didn't. And so, so I don't know what episode I thought this was. But
I think this could have. I think it could have worked. I think they missed an opportunity to make it like a multi-part episode, because we know that they do.
Yeah, it should have been 2 parts.
Movie Madness was a 2-part episode, so we know that they're capable of doing a multi-episode story arc. So I don't understand why they limit themselves.
I guess maybe they wanted to only pay the
maybe
rights
it's
recast.
That's the only thing that I can think of is that it was a budget issue rather than.
But it was just so random. I mean, literally, the only person that had anything to do was Carter in Vipra.
I think like there could have been an easy way around that too. Is like they could have timed out when they brought the Lightspeed Rescue people in. Like they could have brought like maybe 1 or 2 of them into this episode, and then in part 2 brought in the rest of the team, or introduced the Lightspeed Rescue cast at the end of the episode as, hey, the Time Force team needs help, so the Lightspeed is going to come in. They make an appearance at the end, be like, we're here to help, and then you actually don't really get them actually doing anything until the part 2 where they would have been full.
Actually, this was around the I think this was around the time Disney bought Power Rangers. Halfway through Time Force.
It was halfway through Wild Force.
Because Time Force.
I think you are right, because
Disney owned Power Rangers.
I just know that half of Wild Force aired on Fox Kids, and then the other half aired on NBC.
Yeah, they moved. Yeah, they bought it during Time Force, and then Wild Force is a Disney season. It aired on Fox and then finished on ABC.
But it still had the Saban crew, kind of like
yeah.
Sorry, reading the chat. Donnie is having some fun. Just like, what was I thinking? A typo? Oh no!
Yeah.
And Saiyan4414 says that he's going to have some thoughts for when we get to Forever Red. And we will repeat this a couple of more times over the course of the next couple of episodes. When Time Force ends, we are moving the Retro Ranger wrap up over to Facebook, so make sure you follow us over there at the Illumineri's Inner Circle and Cosmic Protectors Power Rangers news pages. You can find all of that right there from our main page on Facebook. And you'll get updates about that. We may be moving the time. We may be reconfiguring the show a little bit. It might not be live. We're still kind of trying to figure out how we're going to change it going into the next episode. But we will let you know, because we only have 2 episodes left after today before we're done with... Well, I'm sorry. We have 6 episodes left, which breaks down to 2 episodes of the Retro Ranger wrap-up before we are done with Time Force.
Oddly enough, that's the same thing with Retro Sentai. I don't know how we always do this, because Sentai has way more episodes than Rangers, but we always end at the same time. And I don't do it on purpose. Yeah, I don't do it on purpose. But Jetman, we ended at the same time, and we're going to end at the same time for Zhu Ranger as well. So it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's insane. So let's jump into the final episode for today. This is Reflections of Evil, which has the Mirror Master.
Wow.
From the Flash?
Yeah. Right? That's the villain in this one, isn't it?
Yeah. It's also a Flash villain.
Right.
Okay.
Corey looks just like he's confused. It's Mirror Khan is the name of the villain in this.
Yeah,
this
there we
episode.
go.
I thought they actually just named them the same. I wasn't even questioning it.
That would be great.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Now you got me. Okay. Anyway.
This episode, again, I don't think this was one of the better episodes that we've seen. I think the effects with the mirror were a little weird too. Like most, it looked good, but there were points where I was sitting there, and again, Caitlin was there watching it with me, and we're looking at the mirror when Miracon shows up in there. I'm like, that's not a mirror. Like, there's no reflection in there. That's just. I can see that. Like,
It's just a frame.
Yeah, like I could actually see the wall behind him next to the mirror.
Someone, I mean, filming with mirrors is tricky.
It is,
but obviously someone on set couldn't figure it out.
The first time that actually came up was when they were doing the thing in the beginning of the episode with the reflection on the mirror that was on the top of the building, and it looked just like a whiteboard, not like a mirror. I was like, yeah, that actually it makes sense. Like, I feel like they could have fixed that in post to actually make it look like a mirror, but I understand why they went with the white, because if they had a mirror up there, then they would have had problems with all kinds of other reflections in it. And in 2001, 2002, whenever it was that they were shooting this, the technology wasn't super advanced at the time to be able to make it like a real good, realistic looking mirror like that. So I get it.
They couldn't CG a mirror.
Yeah, I understand. But what did you guys think about this
mirror
episode?
stuff been around since the freaking Terminator 2. They could have done it.
Yeah, you really think Power Rangers had Terminator 2 money?
No, but at that time, that technology has been a little dated, so they could have done, liquid metal, whatever.
You get what you get.
You get what you get.
Yeah.
Get what you get when you get it.
So I mean, the storyline for this episode is fairly straightforward. This Miracon dude comes in. He's the Mirror Master from the Flash. Like, he can control mirrors. He can pull people into a mirror dimension, and that's basically what they do. We were both, Caitlin and I were a little disappointed that we didn't get like mirror versions of the characters. Like, this actually kind of would have been a great time to bring back the like the Psycho Ranger type thing with evil Rangers, because they were.
And they do evil like they fought themselves, right? Mirror versions of themselves?
Was I just not paying attention and didn't see that?
I'm pretty sure they did.
Not in this episode, no. But there was an episode before where they did.
Yeah. There was an episode previously, but yeah, in this episode there weren't mirror versions of them.
Oh yeah, when they got trapped in that dimension thing, right?
Yeah. This one, it was just like. There were new villains and old villains returning.
Yeah, I hate when they do.
Thomas Franco, dude, you do not have to correct every single thing somebody says. Holy crap!
You turned them off. How's he still?
He came back. Listen, dude, we warned you, and you're done, man. You're done. We warned you, man. You know, and again, if this is your only stream where we have had to warn you.
He deleted it.
No, I deleted it because he's gone. But yeah, listen, we've warned you multiple streams. You're done. So.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So I hate when they go into like some dead dimension and they fight old villains, but then one of the villains is a monster that they didn't use in Power Rangers, so it's like, oh, this guy is back. I was like, who the fuck is this guy? We've never seen him before. But I just hate when they bring up to.
I don't know. It's all this episode was fine. I at this point I just kind of hope that the last 6 episodes that we're watching are better than these 3, because we're now. I'm assuming the next episode. Well, no, the next episode is probably. I'm just gonna say this right off the bat. Based off of the first minute that I saw of the next episode after it auto-played, I don't think I'm going to like Nadira's dream date.
Nope. Skip it. Let's just skip that one. We don't even have to talk about that one. We don't have to talk about it.
But I would assume that after, like, probably after that one, we're going to start building up for the finale.
Yeah, it's going to end nice. The ending is solid. So I can give Time Force that.
Okay. So let's see. Next week we'll be talking about episodes 35, 36, and 37. And then we'll have 38, 39, 40 the following week. So next week is The Dearest Dream Date, Circuit Unshore, and A Calm Before the Storm. A Calm Before the Storm. That title definitely sounds like it's leading directly into finale.
Yeah, that's when the never mind. I don't want to tell you.
It also sounds like it belongs in Ninja Storm.
Ninja Store.
Yeah.
I think that is a title.
I think it's called A Storm Before the Calm.
I recently rewatched.
That's what episode 1.
I think something like that.
I recently picked up the Indiana Jones movies on 4K off of Vudu, so I watched those. So when you said it belongs, I was really expecting the next words to be in a museum. Like that's where my brain was like.
Okay,
belongs in a museum.
Yikes! All right. Well, that does it here, folks.
Just end this show. Okay, we're done here. That joke was unnecessary.
Before we actually end,
too deep.
Saying 4414 has a question about the budget, and he's asking, is it that they didn't have it, or was it that they weren't willing to spend it?
They weren't
the money for the budget.
They weren't willing to spend it. I know at least modern day, with some of the stuff I know about grid connection behind the scenes, they just weren't willing to spend it. You know, or they spend it all on one person for grid connections purposes. But with this,
he wanted that much money.
But with this, you know, they brought the whole cast back. They could have done something with them. They were all there, right? But they didn't. So.
You know, that just look, man. Never mind. I'm not gonna say it. Never mind. I don't want to say it.
Budgets play a huge role in what you're able to do and the quality of a show. Okay, Craig Anderson has a non-Ranger specific question specifically for me. He's saying, I'm thinking about getting into the James Bond films. Where do I start? That is an.
I think I actually brought this up one.
So that is actually honestly a hard question to answer because it depends on.
I would say Daniel Craig.
Daniel Craig is a really good place to start because moving into the next. I don't want to spoil. I haven't seen the new movie yet, but I know certain things about it. I know the direction that they're going in after No Time to Die. So I would say starting with Daniel Craig. If you don't want to watch all of the older movies, Daniel Craig is definitely a good place to start because it feels like a fresh start. You don't really need to know anything about James Bond to get into it, other than the fact that he's a spy and he has a license to kill.
Yeah, and the continuity is real tight with those because all the other James Bond movies, they're just movies with a guy named James Bond.
Well, so the timeline of this film too is also a little wonky because we don't. In the first movie, I don't want to spoil anything, but in Dr. No, the character there was Blofeld, and in Casino Royale, which is the first movie of the Daniel Craig era, he meets Blofeld. So we don't know whether Casino Royale takes place before Dr. No or whether it's there's a whole new time frame.
You can't do that.
It's in an alternate universe.
Yeah, so that's
where.
Well, that's
when
what
the movie was made. You know, the whole time era is different, so I'm not even thinking about that.
Yeah, exactly. So Daniel Craig is definitely a good place to start. If you wanted to watch some of the older films, I like Pierce Brosnan. So starting with the Pierce Brosnan movies wouldn't be a bad place either because that will also lead you directly into the Daniel Craig era. Just because Judi Dench is the same in the Pierce Brosnan films, and she starts out in Casino Royale, so that is a character that and Q transfers over from those movies into the Daniel Craig era. So you could go either one of those routes. It just depends on how much time you want to put into doing it. But to watch the least amount of movies that you need to, you can start with Daniel Craig.
Also on Pluto TV, there's a 007 channel, so you can just tune in and just fucking watch all the James Bond you want.
Outside of that, if you like, if you want to watch, like if you're into watching a lot of movies, like I do like all the older ones too. Like I think Roger Moore was a really good James Bond. Sean Connery was a really good James Bond. There's some other weird stuff in between there. Like there's the one-off with George Lazenby that was kind of bizarre. And then there was like there was a James Bond spoof of Casino Royale. So that was an odd movie. That was with Peter Sellers.
Yeah, that was an old Casino Royale, right?
Yeah. And it wasn't a serious movie. It was a spoof of the James Bond movies. So it's kind of weird how that all works out. But yeah, if you guys are interested in hearing us talk about other things outside of the Power Ranger stuff, you can tune in on Wednesday nights for us talking about Star Trek Lower Decks. If you're into Star Trek, pretty soon we're going to be starting up the new Star Trek series, Star Trek Prodigy. So if you are interested in getting into Star Trek, Prodigy would be a great place to start. While there are some returning characters, it is going to be like almost a fresh start, and you shouldn't really need to know much about the Star Trek universe to get into it. We will be doing a watch along also for the new Disney Plus series Hawkeye. Tonight we are going to be doing a watch along on Twitch for Monster Squad, classic 80s horror comedy film written by Shane Black, who wrote Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. He wrote Iron Man 3. He did one of the Predators movies. He has a very distinctive style. And Joe and I and some others will all be pairing a strain of cannabis, if that is your thing, with the movie to watch tonight. So that'll be fun. And Sundays you have the Illuminerdi Wrestling Order if wrestling is your thing. Every week you can tune into Jay, Nate, and Pumps talking about everything that happened the previous week in the world of professional wrestling, AEW, WWE, New Japan World. I know there's a bunch of other stuff out there too. So that's about it for us. Corey, Bryce, where can we find you on the social medias? Actually, sorry, Corey looks like he has something to say. His lips are kind of moving like.
Is that Galaxy Green Ranger you messing with?
No, this is the Pat Ranger, Patron. I don't know how to say two in Japanese, but
Ego?
yeah.
All right, I was like, what is that?
Sorry,
No,
sorry, I didn't mean to distract. Yeah.
Oops.
Also, while we're talking about on off-topic stuff here, right here, like 2 seconds. Metroid Dread just came out.
I don't have a Switch, but I'm looking. So
if you're a Metroid fan, get this game. It's very stressful but fun.
On the topics of games, just because we've got about 3 minutes to kill here, that we have. I'm thinking about picking up Far Cry 6. I haven't completely decided yet, but I'm a huge fan of Giancarlo Esposito.
I haven't played a single Far Cry.
I played a little bit of Far Cry 3, but that was the last one that I played. But 6 looks really good, so I think I'm going to pick it up. I just re-downloaded Fortnite. Just because I was watching on Twitch, Eric Berry has started streaming.
He's been doing that for a while.
Yeah. He recently started streaming Fortnite, and I tuned into one of his streams the other day. And I'm like, I kind of want to re-download this, so I re-downloaded Fortnite.
I just can't. It's just too fast-paced, competitive for me.
It's
like if people can get into it and be good at it, like good on them.
So there's
it's just too much for me.
Well, there's different modes. Like you don't have to get into the battle royale. There's other things that you can play. So I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna test that out. So that might be a thing. You know, maybe one night when I'm free, we'll pull that down. I guess.
He's dying from boredom after Fortnite.
If you guys want to check out our watch alongs going forward, again, make sure to follow us on Twitch.
Real quick, what is that princess mirror on the wall thing you got back there?
I told you I'm at my dad's house. It's not even my room, bro. Look at that 8-track player over there.
Okay, even at your dad's house, like, what kind of mirror is that?
Listen, don't make fun of people's mirrors, man.
That is, I'm sorry, but it's just a old,
you ever
like,
seen one
grandma looking mirror to me. I'm sorry.
That's actually pretty dope.
What is that?
It's an 8-track player.
What is that?
8-track player. It's before your time, young boy.
I'm not kidding. I have no idea what that is.
So before cassettes, like before like regular tape cassettes,
it's like an Star-Lord.
This is like this kind of bridges the gap between reel-to-reel tapes and cassette tapes.
Oh my god, I've literally never even heard of that.
But that player
I
looks
knew
really
you
dope,
wouldn't
though.
have.
That's interesting though.
Is that wait is that picture is that like 5-year-old Corey there?
No, that's my baby brother.
Oh,
He's
there's
like
us.
17 now. That's him as a baby. He's like 18, 17 now. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, leave the grandma mirror alone. It's not even this ain't me.
All right.
Well, hey, you said it, not me.
Again, that brings us to the end of our hour. You can find me on Twitter at Vogue on Poetry Slam, also on Instagram, even though I'm rarely on Instagram. Corey C. Gibson Rex, is that correct?
C. Gibson Rex.
And Bryce, you're awkward Bryce, right?
No, that's not.
Bryce awkward?
No, that's not it. It's Bryce AWK. It's my initials. We've been over this.
AWK.
No, it's my initials. It's Bryce, and then the rest of my name. It's my name. Okay.
Wait. So what is it? What does the AW stand for?
Augustus West.
West.
Yeah.
West.
Yeah.
West with a T.
West.
That's what I said.
I'm making a joke. Time for it.
I got Augustus, like Augustus Gloop.
You gotta stop.
Augustus Glue.
Gloop from
Gloop?
from Willy Wonka. You've seen Willy Wonka, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
What? The old one?
Alrighty,
Yeah.
so that wraps things up here. The rest of the ring to wrap up. Thank you all so much for tuning in. The Retro Sentai wrap up is going to be on in just 15 short minutes. So be sure to stay tuned for that. We've got a bunch of really great episodes to talk about. Barai, something bad happens to Barai. So you will not want to miss that. Stay tuned. The Retro Sentai wrap up is coming up here in 15 minutes. Thank you all so much for watching, everybody.
Later, everyone.
Hadouken!